If you're like most folks, someone in your life has probably told you at one point, cracking your knuckles will mess up your hands forever. How can something that feels so right be wrong? Is cracking your knuckles actually bad for your health? When you crack your knuckles, you're not actually cracking anything. Between your joints, there's an egg white-like substance called synovial fluid. Gross, I know. One of the things it does is help reduce friction when your joints move by acting as a lubricant. Scientists used to think that the cracking sound was the result of bubbles popping in the synovial fluid. But this year, doctors were able to record this video of a knuckle cracking for the first time. They found that the crack you hear is actually the sound of a cavity forming. Nothing is being broken or damaged, except maybe your loved one's tolerance for you. A study published in 2011 tracked 215 adults, ages 59 to 80, for 5 years, and found no link between cracking your knuckles and the onset of arthritis. And this guy over here, Dr. Donald Unger, took it upon himself to crack the knuckles only in his left hand for 60 years. He found that the knuckle cracking hasn't made any significant difference between his hands. We can all learn something from Dr. Unger, something called dedication. So fear not, intrepid youths. Based on the science, cracking your knuckles is probably fine.
Habitual knuckle crackers, and they crack on average more than 5 times a day.
Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Sanj Kakar explains that tribonucleation is the process of creating bubbles within the synovial fluid in our finger joints. The sound we call cracking is actually those bubbles bursting.
You've got bubbles within the joint, and you're breaking those bubbles up. Just like bubble wrap, you're pressing them and the bubbles are bursting.
Studies show knuckle crackers have the same function, grip strength, and range of motion as those who don't crack their knuckles, although cartilage can become thicker in people who burst their own bubbles. And what would Dr. Kakar say to a person with this snappy habit?
I would ask them, what do their friends and family say? If they find it's annoying, then stop, but otherwise, if it's causing no pain to them, really, I don't think that there's any harm. I do it myself.
What happens to our joints when we crack them? And is it bad for you? Synovial fluid is this lubricant-like substance that's found in between your joints. It kind of looks like an egg yolk. So when you stretch out your joint, you are releasing gas, and that gas forms a bubble and it collapses and pops. In order to crack the same knuckle again, you have to wait about 20 minutes for the gas to return back to that fluid. So how is that different from a pop you hear when you stand up quickly? The sound you're probably hearing then is the snapping sound tendons make when they slide between muscles or over bones. When a joint moves, the tendon snaps quickly over it and it makes a popping sound. So is a knuckle cracking habit safe? Probably. Donald Unger was sort of a self-described researcher who chose to pop the joints in one of his hands for 60 years, but not the other one. And he wanted to find out if popping your knuckles would actually give you arthritis. After 60 years of doing it, he found that he didn't have any more arthritis in one hand than in the other. Most medical sources agree with his findings, but there's still a chance it's not good for you. One 1990 study did find that cracking your knuckles over a long period of time led to hand swelling and decreased grip strength, but there hasn't been any follow-up research on that. So while cracking your knuckles might not be bad for you, there's still no guarantee that your popping habit won't annoy the people around you.
Oh!